Hello, everybody. You're watching the virtual Amicus, and I'm Jay Lodha. Today, we have with us a very special guest. He's a young and a dynamic lawyer from Jaipur, Mr. Daksh Parekh. And just to give you a brief background, Mr. Parekh practices mostly in corporate, commercial, and tax litigation. He has appeared before not just Honorable Rajasthan High Court, but as well as other high courts and other forums across the country. Yeah, he has also been a visiting faculty and has delivered lectures and continues to do so at the Institute of Company Secretary of India, Jaipur chapter. Today's topic for discussion is Introduction to GST and Removal of Cascading Effect. And he will be our amicus for today. The floor is all yours, Mr. Parekh.
Thank you. Thank you, Jay, for inviting me and having me here to speak on the topic of GST, which I understand every common person still have the difficulty to understand. So, first of all, let me congratulate Jay for having taken this initiative and starting this series, keeping us all active and diverted from the issue of this situation of stress of COVID. And I all sincerely hope that everyone across the country are safe and healthy and are taking appropriate measures and precautions to stay away from the COVID. So now coming to the topic, keeping in time frame, we would not go into the details and intricacies of the GST. We would understand the basic concept and why it was promulgated. So let us understand the basic tax structure in our country. It is, there are two type of taxes, direct tax and indirect tax. Direct tax, as we all know, these are the taxes which is levied on income and which is to be paid from out of our own pocket. Indirect tax, unlike the direct tax, we collect it from the other person and pay to the government. So in indirect taxation, the burden of paying tax is not on us, but is always on the other person. GST is a type of indirect tax which subsumes all the earlier indirect tax existing in our country and formulates the single interface and single tax regime. As the name suggests, indirect taxation is always on the activity. So the levy of taxation would be the happening of any activity. Event of taxation, as we technically say in tax legislation, event of taxation in GST is always supply of good. So where there is a supply of good, there will be a levy of GST. As far as our country is concerned, our country follows the concurrent dual GST model. Concurrent dual GST model is a model which empowers central government as well as the state government to levy GST simultaneously and collect it simultaneously. These kind of models like are followed in country like Canada, Brazil, and India also follows the same model. So for instance, if we go in a shop and buy something, we'll see a bill imposing 50% CGST and 50% SGST. So this is the example of concurrent dual GST model where both the government and authorities can levy and impose and collect the GST simultaneously. To understand GST in our country, we have to understand that GST is further subdivided into three types of GSTs. Central GST, which is collected, imposed, and charged by the central government. Central GST is subsumation of all central tax which existed earlier prior to the GST regime. Similarly, SGST, which is state goods and service tax, is levied by state government and is subsumation of all state indirect taxes which were imposed and levied prior to the GST era, supposedly VAT, entry tax, octroi, etc. Integrated goods and service tax is a different concept. IGST is levied by the central government on interstate supply of goods. So wherever when we make a supply from one state to another, then IGST levied by the central government. So let us understand that why there was a need of implementing GST when we already had this indirect tax regime. First of all, GST model, of course, there were multiplicity of taxes. In central tax, there were central excise, service tax, basic customs duty. These were a multiplicity of taxes. That's why the GST was promulgated. And one of the major factors and reasons for promulgating GST is removal of cascading effect, which to extent which was earlier existing but was not successful. Now to understand the GST as well as the removal of cascading effect, we have to understand how was the earlier tax indirect tax regime was following. So now let us understand with the PowerPoint. Now in earlier tax regime, suppose there is manufacturer buys a raw material. On raw material, on sale of raw material, there was value added tax which was imposed by the state authorities. Manufacturer, after producing the finished goods which he sells to the seller, he imposes VAT as well as the central excise duty which is imposed on manufacturing. Now seller, after selling it to the consumer, imposes VAT. So we can see that there are imposition of tax at every cycle, every supply chain of the goods. So when the end reaches to the end consumer, the consumer has to bear a burden of VAT at the manufacturer stage, VAT plus central excise at the seller stage, and VAT at the ending consumer stage. So this was the existing earlier tax structure of GST, of the indirect taxation. Now coming to the GST, GST is a single point taxation where the consumer has to pay a single tax at the time of purchasing of goods. Now let us understand by quantification what is the difference between the VAT system and GST system which was existing. Now, in the VAT system, supposedly the base price of goods was 100 rupees. Excise duty was charged 12%, VAT was charged 12.5%. So total tax burden was 26%, and the consumer had to pay the value of 126 rupees. Similarly, in GST, the state GST is charged at 15% and central GST is charged at 15%. Taking the rate of 18%, the tax burden would be only 18 and the consumer has to pay only 118. So this is the major reason why the GST was promulgated. Now to understand that what is the cascading effect, we have to understand that cascading effect is a tax on tax or a situation where tax is levied on every entry point of supply chain. As we saw in the earlier presentation, that at every stage the VAT was levied, central excise was levied, and consumer had to pay tax at every stage. Now, cascading effect is not a new system, let me tell you. It was already existing in the earlier VAT regime also. And that's why the concept of input tax credit was developed, meaning thereby input tax credit is a method of reducing the tax liability by taking credit of tax to the extent it is paid at the time of purchase of raw material, and thus it gave the concept of Senmet credit. Let us understand by example what is the input tax credit. Now, cascading effect, which was existing at the time of pre-GST era, supposedly producer A purchases goods of rupees 1000. He makes the value addition and sells the goods at 1600. The tax would be levied at 160 and ultimate price of selling would be 1760. Now, if producer B purchases at the rate of 1760, he makes his own addition and sells it the goods at 2400. So he has to pay tax at the 10%, which is 240. Now, what is cascading is this 760 already includes the price of 160 which is the tax which has already been paid earlier. So this is the cascading effect which existed at the pre-GST era. Now let us understand how this input tax credit and GST reduces the tax burden. Supposedly, producer X, he sells good and the tax at rupees 200 and tax is at 20%. So since being the first consumer, since being the first producer, he will get the benefit of input tax and total tax liability would be 20. Supposedly, producer buy who purchases goods makes his own value addition and sells the good at 500. Now the tax would be at 10%, which is 50, and he'll get the credit of 20, which is included already included in 500. So ultimate burden has to be only rupees 30 by reducing the 20 from earlier tax paid. Similarly, producer Z, he has to pay 100 rupees on the goods at the rate of 10%, and he'll get the credit of 50 rupees, which was earlier paid to the producer Y. So this is the cascading effect, which reduces the tax burden, and ultimately the burden of tax has been reduced and the consumer has to pay less tax. GST, let me say GST eliminates the issue by not only taking the credit of GST, it also permits taking of the credit which already existed in central excise service tax and other indirect taxation which existed pre-GST era. So supposedly, if we had the credit of central excise pre-GST, GST also permits the credit of central excise to be taken and reduces the tax burden. So this was the limited and basic concept why the indirect taxation was introduced in our country and why it is always a good step. And let me conclude by saying that GST is a paradigm shift from new to new tax regime from old tax regime and a positive step to simplify the current indirect taxation structure. So this was the basic concept of cascading effect and promulgation of GST. Thank you, Jay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Parekh, for this wonderful presentation, extremely insightful. And I'm sure our viewers will benefit from this. Thank you so much again, everybody, for watching this. And thank you so much, Mr. Parekh, for taking out time from your busy schedule. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you so much once again. And stay tuned. Please share, like, subscribe my channel. And next episode is on its way. Have a great day. Please stay safe. Please stay home. And thank you so much once again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Parekh.
Thank you.